With the Middletown streetscape project having finished a little more than a year ago, we're left with some new features to Main Street. New pavement, new lighting, and these silly fake bricked over intersections, and new bike lanes. While these are bike lanes, the more technical term would be painted bicycle gutters, with most city planners agreeing that these painted bicycle gutters are some of the lowest tier bicycle infrastructure. Though by Maryland law, bikes are actually permitted to share the lane on any road 50 miles or below, so it's not that bad, right? While some students here at Middletown would tend to disagree, the bike lanes have been described as unsafe and dangerous by most students, and most would rather just not use them.
Actually, I almost did get hit by a car a couple of times. The bike lanes are way too thin for, just riding a bicycle there. It's not okay.
Yeah, I have never used the bike lanes on Main Street because those are way too sketchy, and it's nice to be as far away from cars as possible when biking because it's safer and it's more comfortable, so I don't think I'll ever use those.
Though some may argue proper bicycle infrastructure isn't necessary because of sidewalk access, local politician Jerry Donald says otherwise.
Yeah, bicyclists aren't supposed to be on the sidewalk. Bicycles are considered like a vehicle. Like a lot of rules, I don't know how strict the police are interested in enforcing that. It might be complaint driven.
Even with these rules, most of the bikers I interviewed seem unaware of this rule and ended up using the sidewalks anyway, for better or worse.
Yeah, I just use the sidewalks instead. It's a lot safer for everyone.
Back in 9th grade, I used to take that route every day, like going down the sidewalk since it was much faster, but now, after discovering how there's this side road behind Safeway to go through Foxfield, it's much nicer to go there.
Sidewalks, right?
I feel safer on the sidewalk, but it's also because there's not a lot of walkers. If there were a lot of walkers, it would make sense why bikes aren't allowed on the sidewalks, but they're empty anyway.
So technically, bicyclists shouldn't be on the sidewalk, though it seems local law enforcement isn't very interested in enforcing this rule, which is probably for the better, considering using bikes on Main Street can seem dangerous.
There was one time a car started to actually swerve into the bike lane when I was in there, and it almost hit me. I had to go up onto the sidewalk so I didn't get hit.
There are also multiple spots like this along the bike lane where it's intersected by a merge lane, creating the possibility of a scenario where a biker gets merged into by an inattentive driver. To get away from the dangers of Main Street, students have become more creative with their route.
I go out of, I live in Glenbrook, so I go out and then cross onto the Dunkin' Donuts section and go across the sidewalk there towards the Safeway intersection, and then there's this back path from the back of Safeway or Goodwill that goes into Foxfield, so I bike through I go on the roads in neighborhoods, and so I go down Foxfield and then up by the middle school to the high school.
Points on the bike lane randomly end and begin at points like this, which can create times where the rider is forced to ride side by side with regular car traffic or navigate onto the sidewalk. These random stops are due to complexities with the width of the road and other issues the state faced during the Middletown streetscape project, though one can only hope for improved infrastructure in the future.
I know a group of people who would love to see bike paths starting in Gambrel going all the way to Brunswick. Not just alongside the road, but a separate path altogether. Now, whether this comes to fruition or not, I don't know, but those are the efforts being made right now.
Maybe not infrastructure, but maybe clarity on how bikes and cars are supposed to interact. And in general, on the Safeway intersection, people don't really realize that someone might actually be using the crosswalk, so if they have a right-of-way right turn, they're still technically supposed to wait, but that's just rules that aren't really known.
With bicycle ridership being extraordinarily low in the Middletown high school community, discussion of this topic may not seem very important. But one can hope with improved communication and better infrastructure, we could see a revival in the bicycle riding and commuting community in the Middletown area.